first time I saw him?
So the first time I saw him, it was in the soccer group meeting. He was the new cute guy that everybody liked, but I didn't notice him until I was in soccer meeting and I felt someone watching me.
My first initial thought was, dang.
I thought that he was pretty cute. I don't know.
And then my second thought was, that girl's definitely taken.
So then I turned to look and then I saw him and he like quickly turned his head to pretend that he wasn't looking at me.
Yep, those were my first thoughts. The first time we met, I just said hi, and then pretty much left it at that, which she was surprised about. She thought that I was going to ask her out right away. I probably should have. She's a really, really cool girl. You can tell that there's a lot of depth to her character.
I don't know, he seemed very confident and sure of himself. That's probably the first thing that I noticed.
First date. Number one, I was playing it really cool. I wasn't going to be too, like, I didn't want to come on too strong. The time I asked her out, I should have been faster. Anyway.
So he got my number from one of my roommates.
And then I texted her and said, hey, can I give you a call?
He called me, and it was a Sunday night, and he told me that he was driving back from his family's house, and they had just made cinnamon rolls.
And I had made cinnamon rolls.
So he asked if I wanted a cinnamon roll. So of course I said yes.
Do you want some cinnamon rolls? Of course she said yes.
So he stopped by my house and gave me a whole plate of them.
Gave her cinnamon rolls and then casually said, what do you do Wednesday evening at, say, 6 or 7?
And then he casually asked if I'd want to go get Jamba Juices with him the next Wednesday.
So we went and got Jamba.
It was our second or third official date.
Hannah had this way, every time we'd go on a date, she had this way of like giving me just like, I felt like, how do I say it? It's like she had this really delicious dessert.
We were both down in Salt Lake and we went hiking. We actually couldn't find the right trail, so we just made our own trail, which was really fun.
But she'd just give me like a little bit of it, but like let me know that there was a lot still there. And so I'd like eat that and be like, oh, that was so good, but I just needed more every time.
I don't know, it just felt super natural. It wasn't like awkward or weird or anything. It just kind of felt like we'd always been going on dates. So I think that's when I knew that I wanted to keep going on dates with him.
I just had to get to know her more and had to spend more time with her. So I said, I love you first.
He said it first. He'd been trying to say it for a while, but he couldn't get the words out.
Okay. I don't like this story because the way it happened, it's a little embarrassing.
We had this thing where we would read The Little Prince in French together every night, and for a couple nights in a row, he would be like, so what it, or like right about to say something, and then he would always say, oh, never mind, and then never say it.
She had been waiting for me to say it for a while.
So that happened for a few days, and then finally, the day that we finished the book, he like looked at me like he wanted to say something, and looked at me and looked at me.
I don't say I love you unless it's like real thing. And so I was struggling saying it. Well, it was apparent on my face that I like had something to say, but didn't know quite how to say it. She was like, what? And I said, I think, and I kind of paused, and then I said, I love you.
And then he finally said, I think I love you.
So she quotes me having said, I think I love you, which is not true. I said, I love you.
Which I tease him about because he had to say I think.
Well, I said, I think, long pause, I love you, and that was me getting rid of the I think and being very affirmative about that sentence.
I think it happened. Oh, so during the semester of school, I was like crazy busy with homework, so I was staying up all night working on stuff all day long. So like I didn't even have time to really eat or sleep or do anything.
I think she was doing homework. She always had homework and I didn't, so I would just be there while she was doing homework.
And he was really great and would come and bring me food and make food for me.
Well, she came over to my house because I offered her dinner. That was always, by the way, like the easiest way to get her to spend time with me. I just offered her dinner and she would always be there.
So I was taking a break and he had just made soup or something. So I came over and we had that, and we've been talking a little bit about like first kisses and funny stories like that.
So my roommate started dating this girl kind of the same time that Hannah and I started hanging out. And he told me right before Hannah came, he said, I'm gonna kiss her tonight. Of course, when he said that, I was like, I could probably kiss Hannah tonight. And I was talking to Hannah about that, about my roommate and the fact that he was gonna kiss this girl. And so then it was on both of our minds, right?
Then like we walked home back to my apartment where I went to go work on more homework.
And then later that night, we were sitting next to each other. Oh, it had come up earlier in the evening that like how a first kiss would happen, just theoretically, right? And so we were sitting there, and I looked at her and I said, "So what if I did kiss you right now?" And she looked at me and said, "I don't know."
And then he just leaned over and kissed me.
And then I kissed her.
So it was not super exciting, but that's how it happened. Well, so after he said I love you, we decided to get married like 2 days later.
What's that holiday? Memorial Day. It was Memorial Day. The sun was about to set. We drove up on the hill. And we were watching the sun set. We started talking about where we were, what we were thinking. When the question came up, well, so where do we see this going? I said, well, I feel really good about, marriage, and at the pace things are going, at the end of summer would be great. I said, well, what do you think? And she said, yeah, same. And then it kind of hit us both. We're like, oh, so I guess we're getting married at the end of the summer. We were laughing, and there were fireworks going off in the distance too, so it really was just like perfect.
I don't know, it just kind of happened. It just happened.
What most excites me about, to be honest, I'm most excited to not have to say goodnight every night.
Having my best friend around all the time and not having to say goodbye every night.
It'll be nice to not have to say goodbye at the end of the day.
He's really good at being aware of the people around him and always like seeing ways that he can help and then just going and doing it. He's helped me be better about that, not just like waiting for someone to ask me to help them, but to just jump up and offer to help.
So we talk about our differences a lot, right? How I'm kind of the structured, like organized, get things done kind of person, and she's way more enjoy the moment, do things for the joy of it kind of person. I really still struggle with that, but that is something that she started teaching me, and that I will learn over time, I'm sure.
I think one of the biggest things is just how hard he tries to be good and to improve himself. He's always like looking for ways that he can be better and things that he can do better, and not in like a self-demeaning way, but just in like a wanting to be more like the savior kind of way. I like that.
So she has lots of friends, and she talks about like what they're struggling with or what they need, and she does her best to provide that for them. And she'll notice, oh, this person needs someone in their life, and then she makes herself that person.
It's funny though, because like in Young Women's, they always had us write the list of all the qualities that we want in somebody. When I was on my mission, I was like, that's dumb, I need to not be so picky, like as long as they are like trying to be good in that, then it should be good enough. And then I started dating him, and like the more I got to know him, I was like checking off every single thing in my head. He had like every quality that I ever wanted and more. He's just great.
There's a lot of things I love about Hannah, but like the one that makes her perfect for me is that she puts up with me. I know I'm quirky in the way that I communicate, say it how it is, and she accepts that. She reflects my communication style, but not because that's necessarily the way she does, but because she wants to be good to me. She makes me feel loved. I guess that's a big one. How has loving her changed me? Man, I need like time to like think about these.
I think it's made me more open and trusting. Because I mean, like on a mission, you love people and like get to know them, but I didn't know that I could love someone so deeply so quickly.
Marry someone that makes you want to be better. Hannah, she not only like, do I want to be better when I'm around her, even just the thought of her makes me want to be better, but it becomes action. It's not that I want to, it's that I am. She just brings the best out in me. That's not as super specific, but it's very true.
I was gonna say something to him right now.
Okay, we'll do like a role play. Hannah's like right here. you guys aren't here because that'd be weird, right?
I tell him that I learn things from him every day, and I feel like he helps make me a better person every single day. He makes me want to be better. I just admire how consistent he is and how he's always watching out for people around him and always trying to be better and always inspiring other people to be better as well. And I'm just excited for all the learning and everything that we're gonna do together. It's gonna be really, really great.
I would be like, I love you. And I would look in her eyes, and then she'd look back. I'd be like, you know that, right? She'd say yes. And I'd say, good. I love you always.